Hello and welcome to this first video on looking after your voice during show week. So this first video is about maintaining a healthy voice. Because for some of you, if you're doing either a production run or you're doing a show week, one of the biggest problems is actually looking after your voice during your other jobs. So if you're working during the day or you are doing other work, it's important that you are looking at how you maintain a healthy voice throughout the day so that you don't get to the theatre in the evening and you've either lost it on a severe instance or you're vocally tired. So the first thing obviously is keeping a healthy voice and a healthy mind, and that is being, looking at common sense, is making sure you get enough sleep, that you're not working too hard during the day, you are not going for long times without a break. You're ensuring that you eat properly, lots of varied foods, balanced diet, maybe laying off all the fast food, all the sweets and chocolates beforehand, and also just generally trying to be happy, walking into the theatre, leaving worries and stresses at the door, trying to walk in and think, right, I'm going to do a show, and get yourself mentally ready. Yeah. Number 2 is lubrication. Really important. Obviously your vocal folds, when they make contact, they create friction, and the outer coating of your vocal folds needs to be lubricated. If you have a lot of phlegm, that is a sign that you could potentially not be very hydrated, or your vocal folds are not hydrated enough. So the first thing, obviously, is very obvious, is water. Make sure that you do drink a lot of water throughout the day and all of the time. Don't get to the show and then stop drinking water. Don't go to lunchtime and stop drinking water, or don't get to 5 o'clock and then start drinking water. You need to be drinking regularly throughout the day. Yeah, the water can take up to 4 hours to reach your vocal folds, so make sure you are doing it regularly throughout the day and during the show as well. If you need to directly hydrate your vocal folds, the only thing you can do is steam. And the reason that steaming does this is because when you breathe in the steam then actually, you breathe in the steam, and the steam then reaches your vocal folds, and the condensation then does hydrate. With steaming, there is not a right or wrong time to do it, but I would always do it before the show and after the show. Before the show, I would do it before you start getting ready. So before you put makeup on, before you get to a costume, maybe the first thing you do even is you get into the theatre, you sit down, you can buy a steamer, Boots sell one. I don't personally like that one, I find it's too tight over the face. The best thing that I would recommend is that you get a bowl of water, boiling water, you bring a bowl, most theatres have a kettle, boiling water, towel over your head, and breathe in the steam for 10 minutes. That's all you need, 10 minutes. Just make sure you don't do it right before you sing, because your vocal folds will be inflamed. Don't add anything to the water, it must be pure water. If you don't have a bowl, I know some people use mugs. Yep, so get a mug of hot boiling water and a towel over that. Next thing is, if you are a smoker, obviously just be aware and try as best you can to reduce the amount of smoking you do. If you are smoking, try and think about when you do it. Ideally, as far away from the show as possible, or I know some people actually stop smoking, they go to nicotine patches, or they take other things to help stimulate the nicotine. And just ensure that you are drinking plenty of water and you keep hydrated. Speaking with a clear tone. So a lot of people think that if they whisper or if they speak quietly with a breathy tone, that this will save their voice. And unfortunately it won't. It's actually putting a lot of fatigue on your voice. When you make a breathy sound, the breath goes through the vocal folds and it does cause dehydration. When you make clear tone, the vocal folds make clear contact, and it's the most efficient way of making voice. So actually me speaking like this to you now with a clear tone is more efficient than doing this and talking to you on a slightly breathy voice, or even whispering. This is constriction, and it's really not very good for you, so don't do it. Try and speak with a clear tone. Really try and make sure that you're not working harder vocally than you need to. Most of you will be wearing microphones during the production, so you do not need to project a huge amount. You should be able to speak or sing on what I call a very middle, a very efficient neutral volume. You shouldn't need to project or speak any louder than you really need to, so do bear that in mind when you are performing. And then obviously make sure you do the company warm-up and that you keep yourself warm. So if you do the company warm-up before the show and then you're not on for another 30 minutes or you're not on till Act 2 or whatever, make sure that you're still keeping your voice warm, and you can do that by humming and sirening. And then also make sure at the end of the show that you are cooling down as well, especially if you are doing some high level and high effort singing. If you are doing that in a show or you are singing very high, you need to make sure that you are cooling down. So afterwards, again, you're doing a siren, you're doing humming, you are bringing your larynx back down to mid-position before you go home. And that's the end of section 1.